I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
We're in progress, sir.
We're in progress. We're very progressive.
I recognize that room. If anyone's on the Patreon, you know who you are. You're seeing Al and I. Very similar rooms. I don't know what ship you're on. Let's get into it. Two Al's, one pod, spinoff of the podcast, the Two Dicks. We were the Talking Dicks. Now we're two Al's, one pod. I'm Al Romas. Oasis
And I'm Al
of the
Ducharme.
Seas. Well, I was going to introduce you, sir. If you'd give me
all right. Go ahead. Introduce me.
Give me a minute.
The one and only.
Say my partner there is Al Ducharme. He's currently sailing on the Royal Caribbean. I don't know which one that is.
This is the Radiance of the Sea, 21-year-old ship, or 22 years old.
At least.
They just finished the new Wi-Fi, and I'm looking at my quality of my camera is high def, and I have a full signal in my cabin, and the speed has been unbelievable. And I was on the sister ship, the Brilliance, about a month ago, and it was crap because they were still installing it.
Starlink is here.
Yeah, Starlink.
We have Starlink.
I don't know why it takes so long. They send a crew on, a technical crew, I guess subcontractors come on these ships to put in, some cables and some routers. And for some reason, they keep them on for 3 weeks, 6 weeks. I think they drag it out. I think they're milking it.
You think these guys would milk a job a little bit? I don't know. It sounds weird.
They're not. Usually it's not like they're working double shifts or anything. They're coming on board. They have, they're staying in passenger cabins. They have food, endless food, room service, excursions. Hookers.
Yeah, they get hookers.
Oh, hookers. Mm-hmm. You're a hooker.
Yes, from the Two Dicks. We if you check out our web series on YouTube, the Two Dicks, we do a lot of Arthur. If you like the movie Arthur, we would drop a lot of Arthur references in our little episodes. And if you're a fan of Arthur, check them out, YouTube. I'm good, Al Ducharme. I'm in Port Canaveral, Florida today. This is a port. It's a bucket list for a lot of people, Florida. So it's exciting.
Is it raining buckets?
Today my lovely girlfriend usually would drive across the state.
Dude, Kelly
would drive across the state.
Sometimes you forget her name.
With our dog Teddy. And we were looking at the weather all week. Yeah, he does bark.
Is that a new pillow? Where's the toilet paper? Give me that toilet paper. You don't need that toilet paper. Drag your ass on the rug like I do.
It's a pretty good Teddy impression, I'll tell you. Yeah. He got fixed. He got whatever mail, whatever, spayed, neutered. Snip. I don't know.
Snippy,
months ago. And he's still in love with one of the pillows on the couch. He's all over that thing, humping away every day. It's like,
it could be your head. It could be your head in the morning. Does he hump your head in the morning?
Well, he sleeps really. Yeah. He pretty much, he's not humping my head, but he's on there. You know what I mean? She woke up yesterday morning. I was on the ship. I was away, and she woke up sleeping Saturday, getting in some sleep, and she heard that.
Oh no!
Opened her eyes. Right. It's amazing how they're sleeping and then they're puking. Like there was no middle ground. It's just I'm asleep and now I'm vomiting on everything. And now I'm going back to sleep, and you can
next on sleeping and puking.
Yes, take the bed apart, and so sorry to miss that action. But anyway, they said it was going to rain all day, so we said, "Well, don't come across the state. It's going to be a mess." Last time it was a mess, and of course, 90 degrees, nothing but sun. Beautiful day. Yeah. So
when did you see each other last? 48 hours, 72 hours ago?
Well, no, I left on Thursday. Today we're recording on Sunday, so 4 days. 4 days. But this is a 9-day cruise and then a 7-day cruise. So it's 16 days total. Because they're going to reposition. This was a Friday to Friday, and they want to go Sunday to Sunday. So they made a 9-day cruise, and then we go back.
9-day cruise. That's the gay cruise. Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
Why is it a gay cruise? Why is it a gay cruise?
Because you're a favorite on the gay cruises.
Why is it a gay cruise?
But no, those are great.
We just talked about my girlfriend, and now I'm gay. It doesn't make any sense.
I didn't say you were gay. I said you work the gay cruises because you're.
Why
a favorite.
would I work a gay cruise if I was not gay?
Have you ever been on a gay cruise before?
No, I've never been on a gay cruise.
Whoa. Have you ever? You don't have to be gay to take a gay cruise.
Sure you do. Why would you go on a gay cruise?
Did you ever perform on a gay cruise before?
I have not performed on a gay cruise.
Have you been on a gay cruise before?
I just explained I have never been on a gay cruise.
I think you're lying. I think if you go back in the archives
I've been on a swingers cruise.
Oh, that's what it was, a swingers cruise. That's right.
Straight people banging.
Are you sure it's not like bisexual wandering?
I'm pretty sure. I was there.
What happens behind that pineapple door?
There's a lot of, on this cruise, I've seen 2 already. Pineapples on the door, upside down. You lost your sound. That's weird. You knocked. There was no knock sound.
Yeah, I think this has a built-in filter where it cuts a lot out. So that's why I have to go in post and tweak it a little bit.
See, you spent a lot of money on that microphone. This thing is $8 and never fails. You spend money left and right.
It's your third one in a month.
You keep upgrading. And it's like you're knocking. There's no sound. There was no sound on that knock.
It's made for that. It's made to cut it out.
All right. I don't care for that at all, gotta be honest.
Well, just so far, I'm pretty pleased with our connection after a third attempt of connecting.
Well, that's true. I'm in Florida. And where are you, Alfredo?
I'm in Juneau, Alaska. We docked this morning, and I waited for the herd to get off so that I could go enjoy Juneau because it's 61 degrees and it's not raining. That's a rarity. And my buddy Al says, "Hey, Kelly's not coming because of weather." So I'm figuring, okay, we'll do our podcast earlier because you postponed it for a few hours because you wanted to spend time with your gal and your dog, which I totally understand. Right. But when I found out she wasn't coming,
we have a difference in time.
Yeah, I'm 4 hours earlier. I'm thinking, so now you're cutting into my nice weather time in Juneau because you went to a cigar bar with your who'd you get? Did you get somebody?
I have to. Well, I'm keeping it secret for next episode. We're going to do he's going to be on Guess the Guest. So I'm keeping it quiet.
All
little tease for the crowd. Next episode, we're going to have comedian blah 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 on Guess the Guest.
He's a cigar smoker.
That's a clue.
I will not look it up. I will not look it up.
Okay.
Because I can now. I found out how you look it up. You go on the Royal Caribbean app and you can find out who the people are, which I didn't know. Someone told me, but I don't. I want to play Guess the Guest.
Yeah, you want to play Guess the Guest. It's fun, and we'll do that on the next one. And on this one, so we have Al Ducharme on the Radiance in Alaska. I'm on the Oasis in Florida, and we're podcasting and connecting. And that's a new hat, Al. What do you got? What kind of a hat? What are we looking at here? If you're on the Patreon, you're looking at it too. What's happening here?
It's called Happy Valley hat. And it's got a lot of integrity, this hat. And Happy Valley is a dispensary. Am I saying it right? A pot place.
Dispensary. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound right.
No.
Dispensary? No.
No.
Too many vowels in there. Dispensary. Yeah, you went dispensary. I don't know what you did. You added words and letters.
It's a long way, dispensary.
Welcome to the gay cruise, everyone. Hello.
Every doorknob is lubed.
We're Happy Valley here.
Knock, knock, knock.
Happy Valley. Isn't that where Penn State is? Happy Valley?
It is.
Pennsylvania?
But this is also the marijuana thing. So
do you imbibe? Are you a
there's a
marijuana
franchise
man?
in Boston, and someone works there that we know, and they gave us hats. They came to our show and gave us hats. Didn't give us pot, gave us hats. Yeah.
Well, that's
No
weird.
pot.
I mean, God, I went to a hooker once. I didn't have sex, but I got AIDS. So it's kind of the same thing. I think.
Oh
I don't know.
my God. For
Similar.
$5 a month, you can go on our Patreon page and support us
That's
for
right.
things like that. You'll be
and
able
we
to
have a-
see this podcast video right there. You're going to be able to see things that the average Joe cannot see. Plus,
That's
we have
right.
some extra footage of silliness that we sometimes put in between the podcasts. You get some swag. You get I think you get a mug and a coaster. And depending on what level that you join, but for as little as 5 smackaroos a month, $60 a year, you're going to get so much more.
Hell
Right,
yeah. We
Al?
got a new Patreon member, by the way.
Can we
We
welcome
have a new
them?
member to the club. We're going to welcome him right now. And this is a unique patron. He was a guest on our Facebook podcast back in the day.
Wow.
And now
3 years
he's
ago.
joined. He joined the Patreon, and he only had one thing. He said, I don't want a mug or a coaster. That was his demand. I will join Patreon without
and
a
I'll tell
mug
you why
or a
that
coaster.
is. We had to change our name of our podcast. You know, we have the Two Dicks web series about the 1950s detectives. And we started doing the Talking Dicks comedy podcast because of COVID, the lockdown. And then we were getting kicked off of platforms because of our title. They thought we were a male porn gay site. So we changed it to Two Owls, One Pod. And a lot of people have the mugs that say the Two Dicks, but they hide them away from when company comes over. They don't want that hanging out. The Two Dicks with our two
it's
faces
weird.
on them.
It is weird.
We didn't think it through. We thought this was going to be like for 2 months.
Yeah. And, we had mugs made. I never once thought anything would be a problem, but it was a problem. We do need to, we need some Two Owls, One Pod mugs. And, we'll get to it.
On it.
We'll get to it. But I want to welcome John Consoli.
Johnny.
To the Patreon family, and welcome. Good to have you. And
yes, John.
We
He was a great guest
appreciate
as
it.
well.
Great guest. He's
guest.
Marine, comedian, business guy, and
thank you for serving,
life.
sir.
You're damn right. I ordered a code red.
I mean,
John is a
Marine.
great.
That's real military, not like the Navy.
Yeah.
Although I did the Navy,
the Navy
SEAL,
that puts all the
whistle.
Marines on our ship and gets them where they have to go. Without us, they're
you guys
nothing.
are an Uber.
Literally.
You're an Uber for
they're
the
literally
military.
nothing without us, and they know it.
My father was in the Navy, so I'm just joking.
And no offense to the Marines, but it's all SEALs nowadays. You know what I mean? Marines were the thing. Now it's SEALs. That's it. But John was the youngest drill instructor, Marine Corps history, and he's got a hell of a book. It's called "You Don't Get to Wear That." Check it out, folks. Amazon. John Consoli. Hell of a book. It really it could have been a movie, I thought, at the time, or any time. It's just a great story about a kid on Long Island with a father, and a little mobbed up a little bit, and how he gets through it and succeeds. It's inspirational. Check it out, folks. And welcome to the Patreon, John Consoli.
Woo-hoo.
By the way, you had some. You've been busy. Let's hear some road stories, man. You and your lovely wife Bernadette Pauly did a string of shows, New England.
Yes,
Bernadette
Pauly, also an established 20-year plus vet of stand-up comedy. We fell in love in a hopeless place, the comic strip live New York City, and then we worked together for many years before we started having
intercourse
naked time. Yes.
All right.
So, yes, we did. We went back to New England, the old stomping grounds. We visited friends and families in 3 states, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island, but including Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So Boston. We went up to North Reading. She has some relatives that moved up there. Her sister moved. We went and checked out her digs. They got like these massive yards. It just that's where all the cookouts were happening. We did some grilling. Went down to Rhode Island.
Is that where you potted
there.
from last time when we did the pod? You were in some kid's
I was
bedroom
in
or
Cranston,
something?
Rhode Island. I was in my friend's adult child's bedroom. He had just returned from college and got himself a job. So he's going to be spending a year or two at home and save up some money before he buys his own place.
All right. And how were the gigs, man? What was going on there? You did I saw you with Dave Russo.
Yes. We went up to
former guest
Beverly, Mass first. We went to Beverly, Mass at the Off Cabot, which was an old movie theater turned into a comedy club. Really cool, schwanky kind of a gig. We did shows Friday and Saturday, and then we went up to Fulcino Vineyards in Hollis, New Hampshire. It's a vineyard in New Hampshire. Al Fulcino has a nice little place up there, several acres of wonderful wine.
Should have had him on the pod. We could have had 3 L's.
The 3 L's. Maybe in the
3
future
L's.
we'll do that.
All right.
Yes. He'll be up for it. At least a segment.
Seems like you should have thought of that. Okay. It's pretty obvious.
Why do I have to think of everything?
Al.
You did not partner up with me for my brains.
That's true. It's all looks. I mean, that is 100% accurate. Most accurate statement ever made on the 2 L's and 1 podcast.
Now we just have to get our agent to book us on a gay cruise.
I don't know what this gay cruise you're fascinated by, but I can hook you up with some names if you need a connection there. So gigs, are these good? Are these fun? Are these like challenging? Are they, good?
We really lucked out. All the audiences were hungry for some stand-up comedy. Regular event, they see a lot of the same comedians, which they love and they come back for. But seeing these comedians that are there every other year or maybe even once a year, it was refreshing to them and refreshing to us because the audiences are slightly different than a cruise audience or an audience on the West Coast versus down south.
In what way?
Midwest.
What do you mean by that?
Each audience is slightly different from the other depending on what region of the country you're in. Not good or bad, just it's just slightly different. And you can either just do your act the same way or you can make
crowds.
Oh, yes.
Bad,
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, how it is. It's a different feel for a comedian to go to different places. And some places might give it up a little bit easier than others. And others make you work for it before they give it
up.
Right.
I felt that in Boston when we did 2 Dicks at Giggles.
Oh, you smashed it, dude.
Well, that club was so great. It's a hot room, but I felt like too that I was an unknown where, not you were
refreshing.
Somewhat unknown. Right. But it was Lenny and Joe Yannetti and that night.
Yeah,
and,
all the local guys are there, which they love and adore. And
local home run hitters.
But when we come in, we're different. So
I felt like I got a little bump being an unknown guy there that they haven't
you were
seen.
surprising. They're like, who is this guy? And then you're funny. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, this guy's hysterical.
Yeah, that was fun. But that room is fucking hot. Giggles. Holy shit.
Giggles. Usually full.
Room. Did you go in there? Did you perform at all that weekend or week?
No, we were busy on the other nights. But on Sunday night, we had a Boston comedian comedy reunion, originally named Nick's Comedy Stop Comedy Reunion, but they were supposed to have it at Nick's. And it fell through. They booked something private, so they kicked the reunion out. And Mike Clark and Steve, the guy who owns Giggles and Prince of Wheels Comedy Club up in Saugus, said, "Hey, have it here Sunday night. I got you covered." Okay. So about 85, 90 people from both comedians and the staffs of various clubs, Nick's Comedy Stop, got together, and we had a great evening. Oh,
that's nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Who was there? Anyone? Any names that people
Well,
would
the
recognize.
Lenny Clarks, the Steve Sweeneys. Don Gavin did
sure.
not make it. We were hoping to see him, but there was a lot of Bill Burr said he might make it, but never showed. He blew us off hard.
Son of a bitch.
Kevin Chapman, or Chappie as we call him, he plays the cop in a show that was on ABC for like 6 years, 7 years, called Person of Interest.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was never interested in that show.
No.
No
He did over 100 episodes, though.
I didn't see it.
Every single one.
Didn't seem interesting.
So it was good seeing him, because he kind of, when he was on the show, they kind of drop out of stand-up. They do it like once in a while, whereas he was doing it full time prior to the show.
But this was just a reunion. It wasn't, you didn't perform, like guys didn't go up, and it was just hang out.
No, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a roast, and what they had a memorial of all the comedians that have passed over the last like 35, 40 years.
Oh, geez. How long we got?
Holy shit. That was half of the reunion. It was.
It's a weird reunion. Yeah. Let's reunite with
the two gals that put it together, Elizabeth Zito and Rita Choice, who's legally blind, and she goes by the name. Her handle on social media is Blind Rita. They spearheaded this situation, the party.
How does she do social media when she's blind?
She has big fonts. She's legally blind. So.
Oh, legally blonde. I got you.
Blind.
Blind. And is she blonde?
And blonde. No, she's illegally blonde.
Oh, but legally blind?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Legal age.
And we love and adore them, but
yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, it was the memorial was they opened it up with memorial. First they opened it up with hey, so and so couldn't be here, but they're in the hospital now. They have stage 4 cancer. And I'm like, whoa, it's a comedy reunion.
Yeah, hello.
And so they had a couple of drinks
off all the names
they were trying
of everyone
to
who
address it.
Died. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I do this, I'm not doing it this year, but we do Crack Up Cancer in Tampa each year. Big event, great event. And but the guy who running it, he would start each show. He'd go on stage and welcome everybody, thank them for their donation coming here and blah, blah, blah. But then he would start crying and talk about his reason he's doing this. His parents died of cancer within a year of each other. And so he's up there weeping, and the crowd's getting, and then it's like, okay,
comedy.
Let's have some comedy. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
It's the
Don't
worst.
do this.
It's the worst. And yeah, he was on our podcast, by the way.
Yes, he was. We've had a lot of guests. When we're dropping a lot of names here, and we've had a lot of these people have been on, but it sounds cool. That's how one of those things. It's great. It always hear about, never really, a lot of times doesn't happen. You know what I mean? People was like, we need to have a reunion of all these comedians. And it's like, yeah, okay.
And it was hard getting that many people. We just happened to be in town, but there were people that flew in, like Rick D'Elia, who you know. He was just getting off a cruise ship, and he lives in Vegas. Actually, he lives in Vegas now. So he took the cruise ship's flight, and then then he visited his family while he was there. But yes, so
I had a question just to interrupt about Rick when he was on our potty as a movie. Does he affected now by the strike and his movie because it's made, and can he promote it, or how does that fall under guidelines of striking?
It's funny that you should mention that, because I had a chat with him privately, and it's already been shot. He shot it 2 years ago, and it was just released in his hometown in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and now it's going to open limited release. But Matt Rife, the hot comedian right now, Matt Rife stars in it along with your buddy Jamie Kennedy, and Russell Peters makes an appearance. You'll see some familiar faces.
Jimmy Schubert's in it. Got a little role in there.
Schubert's in it. I think he's got the funniest lines, because if you know Schubert, you know we had him as a guest. Yeah.
Check it out. Patreon members.
He was great.
You've got them all. Check them out. But yeah, Schubert, you really don't need a script, or just put the camera on and
just put it on. Roll. Well, to answer your question, was they were trying to tread lightly about not making a big deal out of it. I'm like, dude, this is your one shot.
Yeah. And you got the hottest comedian in the world in your movie. You got to cash in on that. You got to let people. But I was wondering, because there's a lot of stuff with people, you can't promote during a strike and doesn't look good. And well, I don't know. So I wondered.
Yeah,
how
well, they
that
started
worked
the
for him.
promotion prior to the strike, early stuff. So they kind of like can he said it's kind of a fine line, so that he wanted to honor the strike. But at the same time, I'm
timing.
like, dude, you got to strike when the iron is hot. Fuck the strike.
100%. I mean, in 3 months, Matt Rife, could just be another guy. Right now you got the hottest guy in your movie. You got to promote the shit out of that.
He is sold out for 1 year. All personal appearances.
I know. And it's funny because Jill Kimmel, Jimmy Kimmel's sister, is a comic and does the cruises, and she posted a picture, and I think it was like last year or the year before, and it was a backyard comedy show, one of those little, and it was her and a couple comics and Matt Rife. So
yeah,
like 2 years ago or less, he was doing backyard shows, and now the guy's sold out on a world tour till the end of 2024.
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't
you never know.
I think that was early 2022, so just over a year ago. She's doing a backyard show, and I've done a couple of those. We actually had one in our backyard, and
was Matt Rife there?
And nobody broke out.
No,
nobody sold out for a year.
Damn it!
But what a great little thing to do, those backyard shows, because we went from doing some Zoom shows, at least I did a few of those, which were horrendous in the beginning, but a couple of them were good. And then when we started doing the backyard stuff, live audience in our backyard, Southern California, 70 degrees. It was awesome.
I was in the open state, sir. I was in Florida. We were open for biz, no backyard shows, indoors, comedy with a roof, the way it's supposed to be, like a pot pie. Remember that joke? Bombed.
Yes.
I was trying to work that one out on the podcast 2 years ago. Comedy's like a pot pie. It needs a roof. Nothing. Fucking nothing.
Here's the irony.
Thought there was something there.
You and Matt Rife are both sold out. You are booked all through 2024.
No, I'm not. Well, yes, it's Matt Rife and me. That's how we're pretty much in comedy right now. Hey, speaking of comedy, by the way, I'm looking at my notes here. I have a few notes. We lost one of our another big one last week. Another comedy star who went through some hard. Yeah, I never got that. Like, people, the guy made him. I mean, mistake. What did he do?
I'm sorry.
But you know what I mean?
I don't have my Pee Wee Herman joke down.
No, but
impression.
He was always. He's always funny. Always a funny guy. But remember, he went to his parents' house in Sarasota years ago, and then he went to an adult movie theater, and he got arrested. He was, jerking off in an adult movie theater, and his career never.
Well, that never happens. Nobody jerks off in an adult film movie theater.
Exactly. Where is he supposed to?
Was he set up? Was he?
I don't know. I don't know details. I just thought at the time.
Was there a new management? New manager goes, I'm going to turn this place around. I'm tired of walking around with a mop, wiping up sperm. All right, Johnson, get out there with your flashlight. If you see anybody, we're going to report them. How does that happen?
We're going to have the cleanest adult movie theater in Sarasota. We're not. I mean, it's so ridiculous. He was in his parents' house. He didn't want to do that in his parents' house. He went to a movie.
Pee-wee's Funhouse, was a show that was both for adults, and kids. It was on Saturdays, and it played to the kids' audience, but there was a lot of hidden adult humor, so it had a big adult audience as well. But because it was a kids' show on Saturday, and he got nailed for indecent exposure. First of all, Pee Wee Herman, his real name was Paul Rubens. Nobody knew who Paul Rubens was.
Right. And
nobody knew.
He's got long hair. He
doesn't look like the guy.
He's not Pee Wee Herman.
It's a character.
It really was
created.
terrible what they did to him. And then there was
He
stuff
ruined his career,
online.
man.
There's stuff online going, oh, that guy, he's not a hero. He was a pedophile. It's like, why is he a pedophile now? Like, what the fuck is happening? He didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand. I never understood the whole thing. And then seemingly he was sick for many years. He had cancer for like 6 years or some shit.
He
Didn't tell
kept it
people,
quiet.
but like Norm, just kept it quiet and
kept going.
So it was shocking when guys like that, all of a sudden you open your phone and it's like Pee Wee Herman died. It's like, and it's weird when you're Pee Wee, like his name's Paul Rubens, but all the things are Pee Wee Herman is dead. It's like, well, Paul Rubens died,
Yeah.
It's like when Carol O'Connor died. Archie Bunker dead tonight. Carol O'Connor, not Archie Bunker. He's not real.
Gilligan, Bob Denver.
Bob Denver. That's a good pull. What's the other one?
By the way, did you see Pee Wee's Big Adventure?
Yes, many times.
Don't get.
I saw it many times. You're making it like it's some rare fucking.
He went.
Well, you're making it like it's a rare European film. Did you see? Yeah, everyone saw Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Everyone. It was huge. So yes. Al's forgetting we're podcasting.
It was a rhetorical thing. Do you remember being high and going to see that and laughing your ass off? You didn't get high?
I didn't get high. No.
Wow, such a straight man.
But if you really want to see some, the YouTube has the live show he did before anything with him and Phil Hartman. And it's fantastic. And that's really adult. It's not for kids.
Yes.
But that was their groundling show. Someone filmed it. And it's on YouTube. And it's really good. Really funny.
So they're both no longer with us. Phil Hartman was murdered by his wife, murder-suicide.
Don't marry,
psychos,
cokeheads with mental problems. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Could have a bad ending.
One or the other.
Cokehead or mental problems. You can do, you can do one or the other. You can't do both.
No. That was Phil's problem.
It's like Chris Rock
I
said.
really enjoyed him on SNL.
Yes. Chris Rock said you can be fat or poor. You can't be fat and poor. Which I agree with.
I do
too. But Phil Hartman, people probably don't even know him. There's young people, they don't even know who Phil Hartman is. If you think about that, if you're in your 20s, you may not know Phil Hartman.
No, wasn't he shot and killed like in early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Wow. No, I want to say a little later. Late 90s.
95. Late?
I was in, I think it was late 90s. But
hey, Siri, anyway. What year did Phil Hartman die?
Producer Siri, we're asking. L series.
Right. May 28th, 1999, at age 49 in Encino. Holy shit. We outlived Phil Hartman and Jesus Christ.
I have a few more years to catch up, but almost 49.
By the time this airs, you'll be over 50.
Well, you take too long to edit these and get them out. That's the problem.
You watch it, buddy. I am out here dealing with this Wi-Fi from Alaska, which is overrated, according to you.
Oh, it is. I love the comedians trying to sell Alaska to everybody on the online. It's like, get out of here. Place sucks. Look at you. You're wearing a sweater vest. It's cold. You got weird gay binoculars. You're looking at the guy next door on a balcony. I mean, this is just embarrassing. Gee, why do you have binoculars? If you're on Patreon, check them out. Well, you're seeing them. But if you're not on Patreon, get on it. Al brings binoculars to Alaska. What are you going to do? Bird watching? You're going to do little bird watching? Why do you have binoculars?
Because when you go on the inside passage, you can see wildlife. I saw two black bears walk into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Bartender says, "Go around the back."
Mm-hmm.
All right, was that a racist joke?
No, I was waiting for the punchline.
There's no punchline. Fill it in.
Well, it's no joke either. You don't have to worry about being a racist joke. It was nothing. Two bears walk in a bar. That's it. I'm pretty much done.
That's it. That was the joke.
That's good stuff. Open with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Anywho,
you shit on me on one of my posts like you usually do. I said, like this
I don't
post,
shit on it.
If you've ever had to lick your post.
I didn't understand it.
Right. It wasn't meant for everybody.
So you post on Facebook the things that are not meant for everyone?
Self-adhesive postage stamps. You just don't do this anymore, right? When you mail something, what do? There's hardly any
snail
mail anymore. Yeah,
I don't really. Yeah, you
mail.
peel a. Yeah, it's a pre-stick stamp.
Right.
But I didn't understand the post because you said
people used to lick their stamps and lick the envelope, seal it, and mail it. So I said, like this post, if you ever licked your post. Post meaning postage, which is accurate.
Yeah, I didn't get the post because
it's wordplay. It's a wordplay.
Yeah. I went over my
Tom
head.
Tom Cotter and Wendy Liebman loved that joke.
and of course, and Don Gavin.
Don now, and so now I get a full bill. It's over $489. I'm like, who the hell called India? So I asked my roommate, Punjab, did you call India?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Didn't see him at the Gav's back on the ships.
Isn't he in Florida living?
He moved. He sold his Nahant. He had a nice condo right on the water in Nahant, right up here, just north of Boston, right on the ocean. And he sold it and bought another place, I think, on the ocean in Florida, probably for less.
Maybe. I don't know. Florida's not like it was.
I know.
It's not that place anymore to just go and start over and live well. No. They caught up to everybody.
There's not too many places, man.
North Dakota.
You're on the air.
North Dakota, yes. Hello. No, I was just hearing a friend of mine was telling me if you want to be a plumber, because nobody wants these jobs anymore. North Dakota right now, if you want to be a plumber apprentice, learn how to be a plumber, move to North Dakota.
160 grand a year.
Well, no, it's 77 grand a year to be an apprentice plumber. So you learn how to be a plumber.
Yeah. To be a master plumber, you're going to make twice that.
Sure. And no state tax in North Dakota.
Sales tax.
So, right.
But property tax.
No, I don't think there's property tax either.
How does it work in Florida and New Hampshire? New Hampshire's live free or die. Florida is no sales tax. But how do they generate money for infrastructure?
There's a sales tax in Florida.
Oh, there is?
There's no property tax.
Oh, that's what it is. It's one or the other, right? Right. And how much is the sales tax there?
7 or 6%.
Okay.
6%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when they want to do a stadium or something, they add a penny to it.
Yeah.
And then people freak out. I'm not paying for that stadium. It's like,
and they go, it's only temporary until the stadium is built, and they never remove it.
Well, no, they'll keep right. But if people go nuts, and it's like they're adding a fucking penny. Just
because
calm down.
You give them a penny, and then
they'll take a quarter, 50 cents.
I was going to go with nickel after penny, but you jumped.
Right. I did. Ahead. I jumped. I like to leap. I like to leap without looking. So let's go back to this New England thing. I just want to hear more. So you did all the gigs are good, no issues, no weird crowd. Give me a. We
went to Skippy's Pier 1 on a Monday, and Skippy's Pier 1 on a Monday, and it was a little on the light side turnout because the weather had been so shitty previously. The weather was gorgeous, and in resort areas, I don't know if you're familiar, but when it rains, you're packed. But the weather was beautiful, so we had a light crowd. But I have to say, they were a great crowd. They were hammered and laughing at every fucking nuance, every throwaway, everything. So Skippy's Pier 1 Monday night gig. Awesome.
I don't know.
Food.
Let's see the film. Go to the clip. Let's see a clip
go to the videotape.
I want to see the crowd laughing at everything. There we go. There we go. There's your Monday night at
anticipating it
Skippy's.
to be not quite like that. We were anticipating it to be a little bit
Rough.
on the tougher side. Yeah, like okay. And then we had our friend Stephen Donovan came up, and he did a guest set and killed it. Everybody killed. It was awesome. 4 killers.
Don't you think it's weird after all these years in comedy? Like, I still can't read the audience.
Hold on. I think
What's
I lost
happening?
you.
I'm here. God damn it, I'm right here.
Hold on.
No, I'm not
Siri
lost.
just took over.
I'm not
took
lost.
over for a second.
I'm not lost. I'm here.
I couldn't hear you, so I didn't know if we cut off.
I'm still standing. But isn't it weird? Like, you can't judge a crowd. Like, I'll see a crowd, I'm like, they're gonna suck, and they're great. Then they're gonna be great. They suck. You just can't read them. It doesn't. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying?
When I used to sell the CDs and the DVDs at shows, I'm like, Saturday night, wow, we're packed, sold out, standing room only. We turned people away. I'm going to sell so much merch. And then like just a few. And then they do the second show and you're like, 40 people, this is going to blow. And then you sell 15. It's just.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. We were talking last night. It's the same thing with the camera. If you bring a camera to a club to film your sets on the weekend, guaranteed.
Yes.
Bomb, heckles, guaranteed.
Yep.
Then the night you just go, I'm not going to set it up. This crowd looks like shit.
Kills.
Killer.
Is that psychological? Are you taking the pressure off yourself and freeing yourself up, do you think?
There has to be something to that, because you can talk to every comedian who's been around for a while, and they all have that same exact story. So there has to be something that we take ourselves out of it, in our head, going, this is going to be so great. And then you're like, it's not that great. Or this is going to bomb. And then you're killing and going, fuck, I didn't set up a camera. So
back in the day when we used to do this with VHS cameras that were huge.
Jesus, how old are you? God,
I'm
VHS.
I just turned 78. I just turned 78.
You look good. You do look good. The neck's a little, but you look pretty good.
Yeah, you got to see my cock. Oh boy.
What do you mean I have to? I've got pictures fucking all over my room here.
On the gay cruise, they put it up everywhere.
You son of a bitch. Our headliner on the gay cruise, it just says our headliner and a picture of your massive junk. Yeah.
I actually had a penis reduction. I had 2 of them, actually.
I'm sorry?
I had 2
I'm sorry.
penis reduction operations. Now I'm down to almost your size. Not quite, but almost.
Oh, all right. This kind of went the way of 2 bears walking a bar. This is our Al's featuring jokes that are
here's how you do it with the right pronunciation. 2 beers walk into a bar and someone drank them immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about ships again.
Shows. What are we doing? Now you're on the Radiance, an older ship, no comedy club. This is what do you do? Like a welcome aboard and a late night? Is that what the deal on that old tub? Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard and farewell. And then I do the welcome aboard.
Yikes.
These people travel to Seward. So some of them overnighted in Anchorage and then took a train or a bus. Some of them took a 6-hour train as a tour. Some of them took a 4-hour bus as a tour, or you could do the direct bus, which is about 2 to 3 hours, depending on traffic. And then there was an accident, an overturned vehicle. So it took about 3.5.
There was a moose in the road. Took 8 hours to go around.
Yeah. It was a nightmare. So everybody's exhausted. 9:30 show. Welcome aboard.
No excuse.
Families, because it's summertime. A lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Sound Effects, Mr. Fart Noises, Mr. Star Wars made a mistake.
Perfect. Oh.
Made a mistake and did well.
Yeah. You always do well.
Cruise director walks up to me. Did extra well considering the state of most of the crowd.
You killed it.
Hey,
we need to add another show.
Yes.
Yeehaw.
So, and I went long because I was actually having fun with this crowd that I thought was going to be dead.
You went long.
I went long.
How dare you.
And I know my wife accuses me of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he added, or he said, "Hey, if I can, I'd like to add an adult show." Da 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 da. And he said, "Do you have enough material to do just adult material?" I go, "I got a kind of a hybrid act." I go, "It kind of like does both. I just have to clean it up." But I would have definitely done less time if I had known.
Yeah.
He goes, "Don't worry about it." I go, if you're in a jam and you want to do, a half or something,
Right.
like I can put it together. So he said, "I'll let you know." But right now, he goes, "Right now we'll just keep it as the 2, and I'll let you know." So I'm like, and now I'm in limbo, which is worse.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you kind of, I mean, it's a compliment, and then you're also like, but fuck, I mean,
Well,
that
because
kind
now
of thing should be
I'm
told.
at an hour and 25 minutes,
Yeah,
and
it should be
I,
told backstage the first night. Go, hey, do you have a late night? And you go, I
uh,
could. And go, I'd like you to do one. Then you do a little less time there, and you save some
yeah, and you
stuff.
make
But
adjustments, and I'll
yeah, you
take
can't
one
say
bit and save it
afterwards.
for another show. So,
Right, right.
And then
you can't go after.
I'm not Jimmy D'Avelia that has 7 hours of killer material.
Who? Who's that?
I don't
Who?
know.
Jimmy. What is it?
Jimmy D.
I don't know.
He works carnival.
know.
He says he has 5 hours. He's got 5 hours.
Well, most of the carnival guys do claim to have multiple hours.
Street jokes.
Well, they claim 5 hours. I don't know what
They memorized. They memorized 4.5 hours of street jokes.
I was on a carnival cruise once.
There's some solid guys.
There's good comics. No, there's very good comics out there.
I'm just teasing the fact that I'm not that prolific.
One of the last times I was there was a guy. He was going, "Yeah, I have 5 different shows," and I was like, "Wow!" And then I went, and one was literally a joke book show. One was an improv show. He brought people up, and they did like Mr. Know-It-All, and I go, "Well, that doesn't count, and that doesn't count." And then the third one was like a family show where he talked to kids. Yeah. Well, that doesn't count.
But the cruise line is like, he's filling in all his time. He can do 5. He can do 5 hours. So if we're going to get Al Ducharme, tell him he needs 2.5, 3. I'm like,
no, I know.
Yeah, I'm out.
But people think that's nowadays that's comedy's
it's not quality.
But comedy's become that now, where you do your hour, dump it, another hour, dump it, another. And whereas I'm not there. I don't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Even if I was churning out material, I have some stuff you want to do. It works. You like it. I don't want to just dump it.
Yeah, it's flawless. And then there are some of the more prolific comedians, and Bill Burr, he does do that new hour every year, but that's the way his brain works. He's got that extra little clickety click thing. His brain doesn't shut off.
I mean, there's certain top
but it tells like he goes every year is too much. It's every 2.5 years tops.
Yeah.
And even then, to release a special, it's got to be special.
Well, look at Gaffigan. He just put out his 10th hour, and then I saw a little flyer, and he's performing wherever on the road, all new material.
Yep.
So he has another hour.
Yeah.
Now.
But he's at the stage.
10th hour.
He's at the stage
where it's coming from.
It's a rhythm now for him. It's a rhythm. He's prolific, but it's a rhythm of his fan base. Like people are coming to see him because of his personality.
Yeah, but you still have to have jokes.
He does a high voice. He does. He has well hammered out material.
But how does he have an hour to go after like other guys? Like I listen to Mark Norman's podcast, and he's like, I have nothing. He just put out his Netflix special. He's like, come see me on the road. I have nothing. I'm literally going to build an act and hope you come out and watch me. Whereas Gaffigan's like all new material. He's ready to go with an hour. I don't understand it. I just don't know how he did it. Because you're touring theaters. It's not like he's spending a year in New York doing sets. So
Norman's doing he's mixing it with the crowd work now. He's going, throw out a topic, and someone throws out a topic, and then he riffs.
Right.
And then every once in a while he gets a gem and puts that on and keeps people going.
Right.
It's very
and
smart.
His tweets, he'll tweet jokes, and then he takes those tweets and puts them on stage.
Yep.
And that's material. So, he's got a system, but he's admitting I don't have any material yet. Really an act. I mean, 10 minutes maybe or something. Whereas Gaffigan,
because Louis C.K. said they won't, if you could do the same act, when they won't come a third time.
which I get. Okay, that I'm getting it. I just don't understand how Gaffigan does an hour, films it, and then that comes out, and he has a new hour on the road.
Oh, you're
When is
saying
he
while
building
the new
hour?
ones, so people aren't coming.
Yeah.
Well,
but
again, he's in that rhythm. I think he and his wife write together too.
yeah.
I think
But
that they're a
still,
good
it's an
comedy
hour.
writing team.
He has a new hour on the road. And he just put out a special last week.
Right.
That's doesn't make
He
sense.
he still gets those people yelling out "Hot Pockets." It's
Yeah.
classic from 12 years ago, 15 years
I haven't
ago.
seen the new special. They say it's called Dark Pale, I think. This one dark, and it's darker. It's not like the usual. He's not talking about food and whatever. It's more real. And some fans don't like it, which he's, I guess, okay with at this point. But I'm amazed by the amount of material just comes out of this.
And he's he's trying something different because he's at that level where he has to be more creative in that regard. But not that he's George Carlin, but he's very entertaining. George Carlin went from kind of like this comedian wearing a suit and skinny tie to the hippy dippy guy to the soapbox, stuff that's very funny, but it's like, where are the regular jokes?
Yeah, my favorite Carlin is the old Carlin, the old guy. I like him the best because I like it sounds crazy, but after the wife died, and he just didn't give a shit anymore.
He was just up there in the soapbox.
That's right, but it was funny. He always had jokes,
because he's an atheist. He was an atheist. I don't know where he is now, but he was an atheist, and he would go
early on.
You see the clip that's playing now. He goes, "So wait a minute. They want us to believe that there's an invisible man in the sky."
And he wants your money.
Your money.
What I always loved too about Carlin, he would have that hour of like angry bullshit. But he always, if you watch any special, he opens every special with just one silly joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he does his hour. But he'll always open with that pussy farts. Nobody's talking about them. And then just goes into ranting. But a little joke
great
to
formula.
Start each time. It's so great. But Gaffigan's got 10 1-hour specials out.
How many HBO specials did Carlin have? And was it every year or every couple of years? Do you remember?
I think he did every year. So he has more than 10. I don't know. I don't know the number. But he would tell the crowd too, like Norman's kind of doing, I'm working the hour out. Like I went to see him in Vegas at the MGM Hollywood Theater, and 3/4 of the room walked out before he was done because he was working on stuff. He didn't have it. He was working on it.
But they were getting not $89 a ticket.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Yes, you pay top dollar to see George Carlin. You're thinking you're going to hear all the classic bits
because Carlin didn't go to the comedy clubs like Gaffigan does. Gaffigan shows up with his notebook on a Tuesday night. 12 people, and they go. He goes up, does a guest set for 10 minutes, and then goes to the next club and just keeps hammering it out. So it's a different way.
But he can't do that. Yeah, Gaffigan though, I'm just amazed because he's always on the road. So I'm like, when did he have all this time to put together the hour? Whereas Carlin though, yeah, he charged people $100 to watch him work out. And I loved it because as I was watching him like, holy fuck. But people were leaving. I mean, I would say more than 3/4 empty when he was done, but he didn't give a shit.
When John Lovitz started doing stand-up comedy again, this is like 15 years ago, he came to Vegas getting $60 a ticket 15 years ago and just dying. He hadn't been on stage doing stand-up. He just said, I'm John Lovitz. I'm going to do my guy. And he had a couple of comedians open up for him. And we kept having people come over going, we just paid $60, $120 for me and my wife. Yeah. And then we said, fuck this. And we came over and watched your show for $20. Yeah. And you guys are so much funnier than this asshole. But eventually Lovitz was getting the $60 for 6 months to hammer out his act. And I just don't understand how you can do that. And
Norman, I mean, he'll figure it out, but he's doing it. He's going to Europe, and I'd like to see I would love to see one if he's going to, do the 20 new minutes and slip in 40 older. I mean, you have to. I just,
But he does so much crowd work as Matt Rife does now. And it's Matt Rife's videos, his viral videos now, because it's all he'll just get like heckled and talk to the heckler, and then someone will give him a gift, and some woman will say, "I have a gift for you," and she'll give it to him, and he'll fucking compliment her and say how sweet, and then shit on her, and then compliment her again, and it becomes this whole thing that's not even stand up, but it's entertaining. And he's getting millions of views.
Well, what's great too is he has that audience, so he can insult them. He can be nice to them.
They love
it. He can do whatever he wants. They're there for him, and they love him. So he has that freedom. Even when you watch, I've watched a couple crowd work videos where I go, "He's kind of mean to this person," and they love it. They're like, "Good, shit on me." So
it's like an honor. But he always ends up complimenting them at the end, the takeaway. But he has been getting trolled lately and responding to trolls. Like they're giving him shit about, you got lip filler. You got lip filler and you're fake. And then,
he's concerned.
He comes back. No, well, he does. He responds to it and in a kind of funny manner and then moves on.
Yeah. He should even respond at that point. You want to, like if you
I think when it's a personal attack about his appearance, he has a right to.
He has a rife to be pissed.
He has a rife to.
Hey, comedy.
Here's where you tune in, folks. Boy. We'll see you next week. I'm not following that.
So long, man. Have a good trip.
Iceberg, dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series.
This is the 2 Als, 1 Pod podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
What? Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/The2Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.